The office looks a little different these days. Want to see my power tools?
Don't have a watch on, so I can't tell if you're late.
I'm right on time.
Hello everybody and welcome to this week's video.
This week, if you haven't guessed, is about gardening tools.
Yeah, what we bought and why and how much it cost to try and tame this currently completely untamed land that's around us.
If you don't know, we have just over 3.5 acres of land. It's on a mountainside, so most of it is sloping.
We've got grassland, we've got an old field which is semi-pasture, we've got a riverbank, we've got a largely oak and ash forest, we've got an orchard, and we're on a slope, as Jazz said, which is quite steep, which makes things a little bit awkward, so we had to be careful about what we bought. Shall we start small to big?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, smallest first.
No, let's do biggest first.
Okay, big to small. Right, biggest first, which is that bad boy in the background. Come on then. This is our really stiff. This is our 1961 David Brown 850, which we got from friends of ours in Germany. Before we got it, my dad actually did a full rebuild of the clutch and hydraulics on this to make sure it was all working, so it was a usable tractor. But this beastie is perfect for this farm. She's really small, really compact, good at working on slopes, but can still chug along all day. And the thing we've learned with this tractor is you cannot outwork it. The more we run her, the better she is. She's been brilliant, little compact on the inside and a bit awkward to get into, but overall, been a wonderful tractor. The beautiful thing about having a tractor is all the implants you can run off the back. But first of all, you have to buy one. And what we paid for this is around about 2,000 euros.
One of the things that having the tractor has allowed is for us to be able to buy a wood chipper that runs off the back of it. Because the tractor is much more powerful than just a gas-driven wood chipper, it's meant that we can get something that is much more industrial and can cope with the amount of wood chipping that we need to do in order to process all of our trees here.
This is the Green Bay GB100 WTDC, you can see here. There it is. Single bolt to flip it open. When it blocks, fine. This to adjust the angle of your chute. Complete gimmick. Doesn't do anything because you have to tighten these bolts up too much in order to keep it steady, that this doesn't release anything. Other feature on this, supposed safety feature, this bar. This bar is supposed to act on here so that in an emergency you slam the bar, well, you pull the bar this way, just grab it, pull the bar this way, this then drops down, spring pulls it down, and inside there's this flap drops down. But the way they've manufactured it is that this is going the wrong way. This bar can only go on one way before anybody says flip it over. This U should be on the other way up for it to work. So that currently doesn't work. So if you're buying this one, as I did, because it had this extra safety feature which other ones don't, it doesn't work. Time to begin some chipping. Yes, I just fell into the pile of wood there.
So this bad boy cost us €1,350. Just as a reference point, because I know that seems expensive, the guy who took our trees down was going to charge $1,300 to do the processing of the wood. Now, obviously that includes cutting down the branches and things like that, which we have had to buy another implement for, which we'll show you. But basically, for essentially the same price as just that, we've been able to process the wood ourselves and get all the stuff from it.
This is the other thing we bought to go along with our tractor, our PTO driven implement. This is our big mower. It's a twin disc rotary mower, and it's been brilliant because it cuts the amount of acreage we have super quickly. It has excellent float in the top arm, which means with all our lumps and bumps, it doesn't cut into the ground or do anything like that. This mower is a Talex EcoCut Mini 135, so it's a 1.3 meter working width. We don't use any hydraulic equipment on the back of our tractor, so everything is just on the 3-point linkage and on the PTO, so it's all mechanical gear driven. And that means that this and the wood chipper are a little bit cheaper than they would otherwise be. This new, it's just shy of €2,000. We got it for about half that second hand. From Germany, not from France, which is a little bit cheaper. Same as where the tractor came from, but the wood chipper from France. And we'll give you links to all of these products in the description down below. But I love this mower. However, in some cases, it's a little bit too big, which takes us on to our next purchase.
So there are two spaces that we can't get the huge one into in the garden. One is the courtyard and one is the potager. And so we needed something a bit smaller, and also just for like some little areas around the orchard as well. And this is perfect. All the Brits watching this will know what Screwfix is, but it's not such a big thing in France. But that's actually where we got it from. It was only in the north of France, so we had to get it shipped. But all in, with delivery included, this was €260. We actually went not second-hand for this one, just because we use it a lot. And the second-hand prices in France for these kind of things were pretty comparable. So we got new and got the guarantee. It is assisted driven, so for all of our hills and lumps and bumps here, it is much easier to push around, and it can also do cutting and mulching, which is perfect. So we take all the grass clippings from here and use them in the potager or the compost. But even this isn't perfect for all the conditions we have down here. Take your top off!
You wish. Now, we wouldn't be a renovation channel if we didn't have a strimmer. This is one of the first things we've got, and we've used it extensively. We've got the metal blade on there at the moment, which is overall much better than using the plastic wire that comes with it. If you're doing anything, unless you've got perfect edges, because it breaks so quickly. But this strimmer is a steel FS70C. You can pick these up second hand all over the place. We did, and we got this one for just over €200, which is a bargain. Oh, next, my favourite toy. This is my husqvarna. Ah, it's my first chainsaw. The Husqvarna 445i Mark II has been a beautiful chainsaw. It took me a while to get used to how it works, but for the price, it's been brilliant. I would say I slightly underestimated the amount of sawing we will be doing with it, and I would have gone for something slightly bigger, maybe a 555, slightly more horsepower. This is a 45cc engine, and it can bog down a little bit in some of the bigger trees. However, word to the wise, we got scammed on a website. When we were trying to buy a different chainsaw, the price was too good to be true and turned out to be so, and they whisked our money away with absolutely no legs to stand on. So we ended up going for this one, which was also at a good price, and we paid for this bad boy 445 price, just over 430 euros I think we paid for this all in, complete with bar and chain. And this has been a wonderful chainsaw, but it's not the only chainsaw we bought, because my lovely Jazz got her own the other day. Slick.
But you can't do that with your chainsaw.
It's all 12.
I got my own one and I'm very happy with my little guy. While the big one is great, and we love him, we have various areas that we actually needed something a little bit smaller in. For example, some of the fruit trees, their branches need cutting, which is like, you like that up a ladder, or in the forest where you're just trying to get to quite awkward cuts. That's just a bit unwieldy, yeah. It's not, you like.
I do not want to be doing that.
Yeah, exactly.
I do not want to be doing that because that's bad chainsaw etiquette.
But this one is perfect. So we actually got this off Amazon. It cost 70 euros, and that also includes a spare chain, a little handle that you can screw in here, so for extra control. And it is battery run, and it comes with 2 batteries that are rechargeable.
The other 2 reasons we got this, one, as Jazz mentioned, is the extra handle on there, so you can use 2 hands on it. A lot of them don't come with that. It has its own internal oil reservoir, so you don't have to oil it all the time and oil the chain. So much like on the bigger chainsaw here, this one has its own oil reservoir. Super handy, means you can run it for longer. The only limiting factor is the stock batteries, which probably hard work last about 20 minutes, half an hour, something like that. But the footplate on this is such that you can attach other bigger brand name batteries to it with slightly longer battery life. So if you want to invest in this, you can get, or if you have another set of batteries, you can use them on that. Hey presto, longer battery life. That has been an absolute winner.
This is great, isn't it?
Yeah, it's been so handy. The benefit of electric over gas, petrol, is that once you've got the petrol running, you go into your cuts. But then if you need to move branches around like we have been, you have to stop and start every time, and it's a bit of a pain. This, pick it up and go. Squeeze and go, as they say. And Jazz has been using it lots.
Yeah, it's perfect.
Hello. The last tool we bought was our échelle, our ladder, which has been very good for me and very scary for Jazz.
I don't know why I'm so scared of ladders.
This is a 4.5 metre ladder which allows us to get up on the roof, fix things, repair things. Super, super handy. Always have a ladder. It also folds out into a step ladder. So that's also good for helping prune the trees. And it's been, I thought it was crazy expensive for what it was, but it's...
Oh, it is, I would say it is overpriced.
Yeah, maybe slightly. This came in at about 300 euros new. Again, you can find them second-hand, but around us, you're paying nearly the same amount for second-hand and they go within seconds. So we bought it new. It's good. It has...
I guess like a ladder is a thing you keep for life.
And on the bottom, it has an angled base. So if you're on wobbly angles like we are, you can adjust it so you don't fall down and fall off.
Yeah.
But yeah, ladder is for life.
Yeah. Okay, let's put the ladder down and tell everyone if we would recommend these products. Or if there's anything else you think you might need.
The grass is very long now, so we've got to get cutting with the mowers behind us. So let's rate this stuff from 1 to 10. Would recommend, would buy again. Mini chainsaw.
10 out of 10, would buy again.
Okay, absolutely agree on that. Wonderful. Even if you're just doing pruning or stuff at home and you've got to prune fruit trees or something like that. Mwah.
Big chainsaw.
7 out of 10, I'd say. I like it, but would have gone bigger if I had really thought about it. Cutting up an awful lot of firewood from metre long into 30 centimetres, especially if you're doing oak. Good, but would have gone slightly bigger.
Strimmer.
Strimmer, yes. Especially early on, super handy. We haven't used it as much on like brambles and things as I thought we might, because it tends to just be a bit out of control. We prefer to use our loppers, which 10 out of 10. Strimmer, again, a 7 out of 10. Gas, the fuel tank's a little bit small, so it runs out quite quickly, but until we got this mower, it was super handy. Mower.
10 out of 10.
Yep.
Yeah, 10 out of 10, would buy again. Light, easy to use, collects a reasonable amount of grass in it.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Big mower.
Big mower. I'd give that an 8. Yeah, I give that an 8 out of 10. Really love the big mower. Works super well. Plenty wide enough. Tractor runs well. It's really good on the hillsides. The only thing I would change if we were to do it again is I get one that sits behind the tractor, doesn't sit out to the side. A rear in line with the tractor flail mower would have been slightly better at this stage, but like you said, I think that 135E could come into its own.
It's also, that is something, a piece of equipment I don't think I'll ever use, basically.
No, you'll drive the tractor.
I'll drive the tractor, that's fine, but
only
the
to move
mower,
things.
I don't think I'll use that. So if we did have a ride on mower instead of that, then that is something that I would feel more comfortable using. So it's just a point of view.
Yep.
Ladder.
Ladder, 10 out of 10. Brilliant. No, 9.5 out of 10. Could have done with one a metre longer to get up to some of our gutters. But we have an exceptionally tall house. We've got a 3-storey house. So, other than that, you might get some scaffold.
Wood chipper.
Wood chipper. That's a 9 out of 10.
Oh, that's brilliant.
I think a 9 out of 10. Putting it together, there are a couple of things that don't quite work. But overall, it's been great for us. Absolutely worth the money. Works brilliantly on the tractor. Yeah, would recommend, would buy again. The tractor itself.
Oh, 10 out of 10. Love it. It's rustic and a bit rusty around the edges, but we love it. It's just, and I actually have gotten used to driving it and enjoy driving it around now. And oh my word, bugs. Yeah.
Bit of a heavy clutch, but otherwise okay.
Yeah. I haven't driven any other tractor, so I don't know.
No. And everybody that comes here gets to drive the tractor.
Yeah, exactly.
We make sure of that.
So what did we spend all in all on these tools?
Bear in mind, you could get things second-hand. Some things are a little bit more expensive in France, some things a bit cheaper. All in, just shy of £6,000 on all this stuff. It adds up, doesn't it?
It's expensive.
Yeah.
I guess the point is, this stuff is necessary, I would say.
With this much land.
With this much land, and because we're trying to reuse the materials that we have here, yeah, it is necessary. And if we were renting this equipment, we would have spent close to that already.
Just think, it's only double what we spent on curtains.
But yeah, it's not cheap. Like, the reality is, if you have this much land, it's wonderful, but you do have to maintain it, and that is not a cheap enterprise to undertake. So,
and I think it can be a bit
it's a bit misleading.
Yeah, a bit misleading, unrepresentative when everybody has all this stuff and like, oh, we're just clearing loads, but it costs money. Like, you know, everybody's got a wood chipper and a this and that, and we've tried to do this as economically as possible, and I think we've got really good bang for our buck. I mean, £2,000 for a tractor that will run all this stuff. Yeah. It was an absolute bargain. Thank you for our friend. We bought that off friends, actually, as well. So ask around. Yeah. See what's around. So thank you. You can see links to all of the things that we bought, if we can find links for them, in the description below. Hope you enjoyed this video and seeing what we use around the land to make this our own little slice of farm. And if you have any recommendations for power tools or garden tools in general that you have really liked, we'd love to hear from you. All right, thank you very much. Thank you. The dogs are kicking off behind us because some random person's driving around the farm. We're going to go and find our dog. See you all next week. Bye.